Following the coverage of recent GOP town halls, we now turn to the next segment, highlighting the work of Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. As part of their Fighting Oligarchy tour, they have been traveling across the country, holding rallies to address the growing influence of billionaires in American politics and advocating for policies that prioritize working people over corporate interests. Stay tuned as we present some of the video from their recent events, showcasing their commitment to building a fairer and more equitable society. Following the coverage of recent GOP town halls, we now turn to the next segment, highlighting the work of Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. As part of their Fighting Oligarchy tour, they have been traveling across the country, holding rallies to address the growing influence of billionaires in American politics and advocating for policies that prioritize working people over corporate interests. Stay tuned as we present some of Hello, viewers. Coming up next now on OGM News is Code Blue in America, a 30-minute highlight reel of GOP congressmen and women bravely facing the toughest crowd in an unavoidable town hall confrontations. Please watch as our cartoon animated presenter, Grizzly Barry, hit the curve honeycomb, describing concerns from angry constituents armed with facts, frustration, and just enough caffeine to charge at their political bad actors.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Code Blue, America in turmoil. Where the past week felt like a blender set to puree with the lid off, the streets are buzzing, protests are popping up like TikTok trends, and somehow Bernie Sanders has gone full final boss mode against the oligarchs, rallying the masses like it's 2016 but with extra caffeine. From Wall Street to Main Street, people are just mad. In fact, a certain car brand is going up in flames, literally. Americans are just angry at the new administration. They're also revolting with the energy of 1,000 union strikes, and deservingly so. Get ready, folks, because if this week is any sign, democracy is about to get a whole lot louder. Don't just take my word for it. I brought receipts. First up, we've got a town hall featuring a senator from Iowa, Chuck Grassley. He's got decades of experience in Congress. Now, you'd think after all those years, they'd want to go out with a little dignity, right? Well, let's just say the voters had other plans. Watch and enjoy the secondhand embarrassment unfold.
Isn't the Department of Education the law of the land?
I
Republicans let him talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then, just in case you're wondering, will those programs go away with what Trump's doing? The answer is no, and he has said that. Because they're the law, they are the law. And just as an example.
You can't say it's law for him and not law for us. So how is it that then when judges make decisions that all Trump does is say, oh, they should be impeached, you know, and he's making us afraid to stand up for our own rights because we're going to then be sent to El Salvador into a high security.
That's right. And we're gonna follow his law?
Judges' rulings should be abided by.
That's not what you said.
Judges' rulings should be abided by. And I read statements in the newspaper that Trump was going to do the same thing, but he was going to appeal. And so
And how much does that cost us?
there's 100.
How much does that cost us?
And how much will it cost us to bail the farmers out?
Let him answer.
Well, we are. Who are you?
He's had 66 years in office.
There's 100.
We have a right to talk.
Hey, I can say why you do. Let him
Let's keep
answer.
it going.
There's 127 cases filed
He does.
compared to about a dozen with previous questions. So what you learn in 8th grade civics, the checks and balances of the government are going to continue to work.
It's not working.
Who was not appointed by anything with the advice and consent of the
You can bring everyone down.
access to our personal data.
Yeah.
Why
You
is
can run everybody.
It's everything that, you know, he hasn't even been vetted for anything. In fact, he's still a citizen of not only the US, but of Canada and South Africa. I mean, why is he the number one person that is just going through and overhauling everything by cutting everything?
And why is Congress allowing that?
There's no tax.
It seems to me that what you're seeing going on today is what I've heard 2 Democrat presidents say since I've been in the United States.
This is not Republican, Democrat. This is about us, the
I'm
people.
talking to you.
That's collectively, not just us.
Everyone's okay with fraud, but you find fraud by actually looking for it. You don't find it by just saying, okay, I'm gonna cut off your funding. You can't, that's no way of finding fraud.
Right.
I mean, let's
That's
face
right.
it. Security fraud done by doctors and nurses who file fraudulent claims against, you know, Medicaid, right? So why are we going after them? Why are we actually cutting the access to the, you know, money that the people need? Why are you assuming that people who are receiving benefits are in the wrong?
That's right.
Again, addressing you. I'll give you an example of $20 million in the Defense Department that since Trump's been president, and I asked him to do away with the Agency of National Assessment, which is supposed to assess annually the needs of our national security, and they haven't been doing it since 2013, but they've been assuming $20 million. They announced that they were going to do away with the Agency of National Assessment within the Department of Defense. I think I ought to go on to other people now.
In the back?
Senator, may I ask a question? Senator? Yeah. Obviously, the Senate and the House has the power of oversight of the government, of the president and people in his administration. It seems to me that Trump and his people are moving very rapidly toward a dictatorship and an oligarchy. Very, very serious matter. The country is in serious jeopardy, it seems to me, cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and a whole lot of other programs, even though they deny they're going to do it. And firing people at will and just randomly isn't solving anything.
Right.
That's right.
Statistics, you gotta know what those numbers represent.
But my question is, what are you doing regarding oversight? All that concerns, but I've not heard anything from you or any of the Republicans in the Senate or the House for that matter. And so you have the power of oversight. So the courts are doing their job and doing it really well to rein in Trump and others. But we need to have the Senate and the House also providing oversight. And so it's your job, obviously.
Yes.
You've been doing for decades. You know it's your job, but we are depending on you and the others to help save democracy.
I will address your question. I think I gave you one example of $20 million in the Department of Defense. I think I've got another thing. I've got an investigative staff on, and we got 33 investigations going in. So I'd have to have you, I can't give you all 33 of those investigations.
Give us one.
But well, one of them would be the waste in the EPA as an example.
What you just said,
Okay.
20 million.
Behind you.
Democracy, the waste in EPA.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do and what are you doing to save democracy? This is.
That's right.
Next is the video that takes us to a Republican town hall in Spokane where voters had a very Canadian moment, raising the maple leaf flag and calling for Trump's impeachment. Now, despite what the president might claim, these folks aren't undercover lefties on a payroll. Nope, they're from deep red Republican districts, real, passionate conservatives who are absolutely furious. And honestly, they've got every reason to be.
I've been in Spokane for 39 years from New Jersey. I've never been involved in politics before, but this is getting really scary. Okay, so the things that frighten me is the way this insane president talks about Canada as a 51st state. Yeah. Taking Panama by force and buying Greenland. How does this person qualify as sane? Why is he not being impeached right now?
Up next, we've got House Republican Harriet Hagerman. You know, the one who replaced Liz Cheney from Wyoming? She is getting a good old-fashioned Wyoming welcome. A chorus of boos, and why? Because she decided to defend Elon Musk. Turns out, even in cowboy country, there's a limit to how much billionaire fan clubbing folks will tolerate.
The opportunity to